This ABC15 flash briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
Hello, I'm Megan Thompson with your afternoon update from ABC15 Arizona. The Gilbert Subcommittee on Teen Violence will have their first meeting today. Town council members unanimously voted to create the group earlier this month. It comes after reports of increased teen violence in the town. The Biden administration announcing plans for the 51st anniversary of Roe v. Wade, announcing VP Kamala Harris will begin a tour in Wisconsin next week. The campaign will also have leaders in several states holding events, saying Mayor Kate Gallego will hold a news conference in Phoenix to discuss abortion bans. Gallego is part of the Biden-Harris 2024 National Advisory Board. The city of Phoenix has cleared out the zone, but still the overall issue of homelessness still remains a big concern. ABC15 anchor Javier Soto is speaking with the city's Human Services Department to find out how to move forward.
Talk about a before and after. Here's a side-by-side view of the zone, the Phoenix homeless encampment. In May, upwards of 1,000 people lived on the streets, but now the city has cleared it out.
It's a bit surreal for me. When I started working here 5 years ago, it was like this, basically. There weren't people living here and camping and creating structures and attaching things to this fence. And then we had our slow growth into that, and we had, quite a while with 500 up to 1,000 people living right here.
The Key Campus, formerly the Human Services Campus, where Amy Schwabenlender is CEO, is ground zero in the homeless crisis. The nonprofit offers an assortment of services, including physical, mental, and dental health, legal, employment, food, and housing. Despite the chaos created by the zone, she says Phoenix found a humane way to handle it.
When it was first proposed that they would clean up the zone, did you ever think it would look like this once again?
I knew it could. I didn't know how we would get from that to this. And grateful that the city of Phoenix didn't do what other communities have done, which is just go through on one day and say, you can't be here. And really being thoughtful and intentional and planning and doing it in the most dignified way it probably can be done, and saying we're going to do a street at a time. We're going to make sure we have indoor places to offer all of you.
But months after the city fulfilled a court order and cleared the, quote, public nuisance, Amy fears the actual problem of homelessness is being forgotten.
And telling a jurisdiction, eliminate the public nuisance, isn't a solution to how did people become homeless. It's a wiping away, it's an erasing of a circumstance that's happened to people. And it's not identifying a solution. It really just said, go through this area, tell people they can't be here.
According to ABC15's extensive reporting on homelessness, it's a multi-tiered problem, which will require a multi-tiered solution.
Is that the biggest problem, affordable housing and having roofs in general?
So for us, it's really a three-pronged approach. How do we help more people stay housed? How do we have enough services for people who lose their housing? And how do we have enough housing? And we really need to, as a community, need to be looking at all of it.
With the solutions requiring everyone on state and local levels coming together to resolve this compounding problem, because it's not going away.
Everybody wanted to talk about homelessness. And so there is this feeling inside like, okay, are we back to where we were 5 years ago, that people don't see homelessness, so they're not going to want to talk about it. And I don't want 1,000 people living outside to have to get people to talk about it.
Javier Soto, ABC15 Arizona.
Time for that most accurate forecast. I'm meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. It's going to be a gorgeous day across Arizona. Warmer, too, as high pressure begins to build in overhead and we see more sunshine today. Those temperatures are climbing even faster and higher. Today, we're going to reach the 70s across central and western and southwestern Arizona, with Phoenix topping out at 75 degrees, marking the warmest day of the year so far. Highs reaching the 50s to 60s across northern Arizona, with spots like Flagstaff seeing more sunshine and a high of 52. In the 60s today for Sedona. We'll be dry through the end of the week, getting a little warmer tomorrow, too. But then by the weekend, Sunday specifically, and into next week, rain chances go up. We could end up with around half an inch of rain in the valley by the time all is said and done, as we see multiple opportunities for rain and more of a rain-snow mix across the high country, with snow levels hovering at around 7,000 feet. But a little over 1 inch possible in spots like Flagstaff when it comes to snowfall, maybe 1 to 3 inches up there. Otherwise, it'll get cooler after highs in the 70s. We're back in the low to mid 60s starting Sunday.
We will have another update for you tonight. Until then, get the latest news, weather, and traffic at ABC15.com or by downloading the free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.